This week on Dumb Pitches, we're starting our new season, and we're starting hard with a live episode with Erin Ingle. And man, we go from a terrible teen diet idea followed by the soup luge. You're going to have to listen to figure out what that is. Here we go, Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. And today, we are live for the very first time, live recording the podcast here with multiple people in the audience. Yeah! From the Upper Left Fest in Seattle. I am excited to do it live. I'm also very excited for our guest today. Help me welcome Erin Ingle.
Hi. Hello, Monica. Thank you. I've been dying to be on the pod. I actually am a listener. I should have outed myself, I guess. But,
That would have been helpful before. Because
sure.
we're like, we just roped all these people to come in this room because we needed it. And no one is like, I don't even know
Met
what
this
is.
girl in the alley. Thought she maybe would suit.
It's fine. I mean... We could go with that. That would be fine. Well, good. Okay, so you know what's going on.
I do.
Okay, well, then you know we start the show by giving everyone your good ideas. They know your credits, so they know you haven't only had terrible ideas.
Yep.
Okay, so Erin Ingle, you may have seen her on Roast Battle on Comedy Central. That's pretty fancy, huh? Oh, we're going to clap for each one.
I'm so mean is why. They brought me up because they're like, she's a terror.
Real bitch. I like the idea that you would clap for everything. I assume people who are listening at home will do the same. You've been in the Laughing School Festival in Atlanta, Asheville, North Carolina, that festival. You're also the co-host of the Is This Normal podcast, which we've had some live iterations of that show as well. Also kind of a goof. I like that show. I like doing that show.
People do share embarrassing stories on that show.
Yeah.
So we, Is This Normal? We take anonymous questions, quirks, concerns, queries from our listeners or our live audience. And my co-host Alyssa Yeoman and I, we debate those things and determine whether they are normal or special or something else. So
it's pretty, it's fun to do live. I mean, I've done it before. So those are good. See, this is what we like to establish, that like Erin has had ideas that she then did and produced, and they're real things and they worked. Maybe
I'm raising a child. He's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
They let me do that.
I've only seen pictures, so I don't know how okay he is. But that's,
He might just be my prisoner, as far as you know. Take another picture for my friends.
Okay. Anyways, yes. So you've done. You've had some success, but that is, not why we're here. No, we want to hear about the bad ideas. So when I sent you kind of that same criteria, I just showed them, told them, I'm here and things are good. Don't worry. I will just preface the whole thing with, I did do a show right outside of Spokane last night and drove there and back.
Goodness gracious.
So that we could be here to do this today. So if I'm a little tired, that's why. And it's not because I've already had 6 of those. So I'm just kidding. No, I'm happy to be here. Excited. Okay, let's start. What do you got? What was your first? Or wait, maybe we should clarify. Do you have one? Or did you think of a couple? Because that'll help us with timing.
I think I have 2 at least, and then as many drug stories as you'd like. So if we need to pepper those in, that's a mistake that I'll keep making.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome. That's great. Okay, well, let's start with whatever you thought of first. Let's do that.
Okay, I figured we'd start chronologically. So we're going to crank it back to probably my junior year in high school.
Yes, I love a teen mistake.
I wondered if you, as an impressionable teen, were ever involved in any sort of crash dieting.
Oh, I wasn't.
You were an athlete.
I was an athlete, yes.
Yeah, and I was in theater, so I had to get this body under control by force, And
that is where I feel like a lot of crash dieting was happening in the drama club.
Absolutely, because we're like, we got to get stage ready,
Yeah.
If we're gonna be in this production of The Crucible, or Our Town for the South Medford High School's extremely critical.
I forgot
community.
you're from Medford. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
baby.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you've dabbled.
My father was born there.
Wow.
Yeah. left immediately.
Ron.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, Ronnie the bear. Yeah. He's anyways. So I know Medford well.
And he chose not to live there, as did I.
No, and my grandfather was a teacher there, and so he.
Really?
So this is from your school. That's probably why he left.
High school teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it was my fault?
Yeah, probably.
Crap.
It was.
I was a fairly good.
Well, let's get to the end of the diet
fairly good
story.
student.
Maybe this is why we don't know.
Okay, so yeah, no, this is the aughts. So every girl that I know, at least, was in the midst of at least like just dipping the toe into the eating disorders, whatever you could grab, you know.
Right.
And we didn't have as good of like internet know-how,
Right,
so
sure.
we were kind of off the cuff with these
Just
ideas.
hoping for the best.
absolutely.
Maybe going from what the diet title is and making it up. I don't know.
And this one, I would say, is off the books. There's they didn't write, nobody wrote about this one.
Okay,
Because
yet.
it was just a little idea that
Okay.
my friend and I had. Do we name names in this? Probably. Or should I give her an alias?
It's up to you. I would say.
What do you think?
First, middle, and last. But, I mean, Social security number if you know it. But.
I feel like she has a unique enough name that I shouldn't name her. So we're gonna call her Nicole.
Nicole.
Okay, a made up name for a real person, and she was a year older than me, and also in the theater.
Okay.
So we were we sort of, our brainchild was to combine a crash diet with a weekend getaway.
Okay.
And I don't know why, really. I think we were like, we're gonna go on we wanted to go camping together. She was a little bit older than me, I think I could drive at the time as well, but she drove. My mom trusted her enough that we could like go out, and we actually went to like one of those, drive-in car camping campgrounds on the
Okay.
Oregon coast.
Sure.
And no, I'm sorry, it was the California coast. Like once you go out from Medford, you could end up in either state.
Yeah.
It's sort of just
Medford's like as close to California as you can get, pretty much.
So you travel west through the like redwoods and stuff, and then you're out on the California coast. But our idea was that like to combine, to make it like a really productive weekend away. What if we also dropped a couple lbs?
Okay.
And we were going to do that by consuming only fruit and juices for the weekend. At the time, diarrhea was not a concern.
Okay. That was my first thought. Did you have a plan?
We did not have the forethought to think about the shits at the campground.
Didn't have the millennial stomach yet. You were just like, I didn't even think about it.
I was bulletproof at the time.
Yeah.
Or just so unaware of the functionings of my own body. So we were like, we stocked up on a bunch of like fruits, whatever we get at Winco. I'm sure it was like a fuck ton of grapes. I think we invited carrots along as well. I believe there were vegetables.
Grapes and carrots.
Basically, probably grapes and carrots.
And a tent and a dream.
And then also a variety of, for some reason, these were extremely popular at the time, Bolt House smoothies. Does anybody remember the square bottled, just a very sensual, curvy, square bottled smoothie? Okay.
Pre-made, obviously.
Yeah, so that was how we were going to get our protein.
Was the smoothie?
A smoothie. So we had our just raw fruits and veggies and some like protein shake smoothies in a cooler in the back of Nicole's car. And we were ready to adventure. And we started driving, and then as we were approaching the California border, I'm not sure if you all have crossed, but there are signs posted up as you start to approach California that it is illegal to bring produce from abroad to California. And with my 2024 eyes, I haven't actually got my 2024s yet. I'm still wearing last year's model. Yeah, once I get my tax return. But with today's eyes, I realized that is so that you don't plant something.
Right.
But as a high school junior, I thought, fuck, they're gonna check our cooler and see all of our strawberries and send us back.
Yeah.
So before we got,
which is nowhere near what they would do, but yeah.
So before we got to the border, we like pulled over at like a rest stop and dumped all of our fruit into the garbage.
So now we're just down to smoothies.
We have just a few smoothies, probably like $16 to our name because we're in high school. And we load the car back up and head to the border with our smoothies. And there is absolutely no one staffing that border crossing.
Of course. This is why I was like, I've never even had it come up to the point where I get nervous every time I cross it because I do drive, you know, to Northern California quite a bit, and I'm always nervous. And I start to roll the window down. They're like, no, we're not even going to talk to you.
You
Get
just
out of here.
fucking
Like,
go.
I don't even know.
I'm in the middle of an episode of something on my phone. I need you to scram.
Roll down your window.
I can't remember ever being stopped there either, but I was afraid of the law.
I've been asked like twice, maybe, of
Yeah.
probably 30 times going through. Just, do you have fruit or vegetables in the car? Do you have produce in the car? And I'm like, nope.
You're like, what the fuck? No, I have Doritos.
You're never
and
going to look
Red Bull.
farther into it.
No.
Maybe the first time I was nervous in the same way, where you're like, wait, is this made out of fruits? I don't know, but
So we were then ushered without any questioning into California. Now with only smoothies for our like 2-night camping trip, honestly, that wasn't the dumbest part of it, because we also got to this campground and realized that neither of us knew how to start a fire.
ooh.
So, yeah, it was a big learning
And
experience.
did we bring things for that?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay, yeah. Toss that at the border,
I think
too.
we like gathered some sticks around, which I believe is also against the policy of the state campgrounds. We probably had lighters because we were smoking cigarettes. So Nicole probably like lit a clove cigarette and put it up against like a dry leaf, and that didn't
warmed
work.
around that for a bit.
So then we probably made the worst decision of the trip, which was as two teenage girls approaching strangers at a campground and asking for their help to light a fire for us.
Okay, you're asking for their help to light a fire, yeah. And did anybody take
They,
you up?
they did. There were plenty of rough and tumble ATV types at the campground that all knew how to start a fire.
Were they being creeps, or was it just...
I think they felt like really scared for us. So they took good care. They kindly came back to our site, and they were like, "You don't have
anything
anything here?" They're like, "What? So you're gonna start the fire so you can cook some hot dogs?" And we're like,
yeah,
"Oh no.
We'll trade you a smoothie.
Just having a choco banana chai smoothie over by the
I
fireside."
would like to warm it up, though, so that's...
Yeah, that was our crash diet weekend on the Oregon coast.
Okay, well, now that you're out of food,
yeah,
I think did you drop the pounds is what I think we're all wondering here.
I think we probably went to like a fish and chippery.
Like still ended up
Just take a hard turn and just have a 6,000 calorie meal
after
to
that.
warm us up. We're
Hilarious.
so chilly in our tents.
The dumping of the fruit is the best.
Yeah, just kicking.
That's so great.
Kicking ourselves.
But I mean,
I thought we were going. What was our choice? Was be in trouble with the law?
Yeah.
You know, like get broke down palaced on the border of Oregon and California.
You've heard of Border Patrol. This is it. This is what they're gonna get you.
We are what they're looking for.
Yes, exactly.
Drama students.
Drama students with fruit.
They want to keep us down. They want to silence our voices.
Oh, that's such a great story.
Just a bad idea.
Yeah, really bad idea. Anyway, but you wouldn't have known. It's lovely, and I hope Nicole's doing well.
Oh yeah, doing great. It's very thin.
Did you come back?
She did it. She just did it all.
She won't eat fruit ever since then. So she just, did you ever learn how to make a fire?
I would say if in an emergency situation, I think I could make a fire. I would probably get like a lot of anxiety and take a lot of work. I can't do I've watched a lot of like survival type TV shows.
Okay.
So
that'll make you feel like you could do it.
Yeah. I'm like, I can make a way better fort in the woods than these fucking losers. Yeah. Yeah, but I've never I think with all the materials, we have a fireplace at the house. I can start a fire. And
okay,
so.
sweet, yeah. So you've
but I mean, I have
experience. Not that now we're like, all right, so we're gonna do it again. And what would you have changed? That's great. I love that one.
Only smoothies, obviously. We don't want to waste all that money.
Don't waste your time with the grapes and the carrots. Good thing it wasn't like Whole Foods or something. Anyways,
no, it was Winco for sure.
All right. Okay. Well, you said you had another one off the top.
I do, and this is more of a business pitch.
Perfect.
Now I do want to ask, like, logistically, like, do you feel like I'm like protected from any intellectual property theft on this show?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot, and we do basically you would be allowed to help with the idea if you funded it, and Erin still got credit. So there you go. That's how this works.
As long as the rules are in place.
Yeah, it's pretty much Shark
That's
Tank
also on
out
the contract they signed when they walked in, and also downloaded the podcast.
Yep, you can fund it. Okay. Business proposal.
So the next one I'm going to pitch to you in a more of a narrative style. Here goes. You've heard of a bread bowl.
Yes.
Great way to eat your soup, right? Especially if you're not on a fruit diet. You get a bowl and extra food all in one function. I love a bread bowl.
Yeah.
Chowder, obviously the ideal bread bowl occupant.
Sure.
I thought, what if we cut out the middleman? Because when you have a bread bowl, you need a spoon. And that's really the only imperfect concept, the only imperfect component of the bread bowl. So I came up with the idea a few years ago of the soup luge, which is you're going to replace your sourdough ball of bread. We're taking that out of the picture as well. We're going to get a baguette, all right?
Okay.
Hollow out a channel down the middle, and then you're dropping your hot soup at the top. It's running down the baguette
And you're
straight into your maw.
at the
It's
on an incline.
Yeah, you need a friend.
You're at the bottom.
Yeah, so you need like a ladler at the top of it, sort of like a beer bong. And then the soup runs down the channel and into your beautiful mouth, ideally cooling to an eatable temperature.
Well, and probably gathering a little bit of
a little bit of bread goo, little crumb,
bread stuff in there. That's
honestly, I thought this was a fucking $1 million idea.
Really?
Yeah, until I tried it out. And the soup doesn't run down.
Oh, it just soaks it up.
It's just kind of.
Okay. So we would need
it's too fertile of a ground. Yeah. So the soup.
You're just waiting at the bottom, and it's not getting down there.
I think that when you're eating out of a bread bowl, you're anticipating the bread soup combo being like many of your bites.
Sure.
And with the soup luge, I will say in my first beta, and we need to iterate. That's how the best ideas are cultivated. In our one attempt, I attempted this with my buddy, our mutual friend, Travis Nelson, when we were on a road show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he helped me try to execute this idea.
Travis is like 6'9".
Yeah, so he's a perfect person to be at the top of the
hold
luge. Top of the luge. But he's not very good. We didn't have a good means. Like this is an Airbnb kitchen as well as we were doing this. Went and bought our baguette and. Could I ask the audience just really quickly, and maybe yourself, like, if you're going to get a prefab Safeway soup, what are you going to buy?
Oh, okay. One of the ones in the plastic bowl.
Oh, all right. Jambalaya.
Interesting. Tomato,
basil.
Minestrone's good.
Now, minestrone was just pitched. Consider running that down a soup luge. It's too chunky.
It's a little chunky, yeah.
It's too chunky. Yeah. I thought chowder would probably also have some.
It's more of a viscous situation.
Yeah. So I did opt for a tomato basil.
Okay.
That was my choice. I thought.
I think that was what I would probably think too.
If you're looking for a runny enough soup.
Yeah.
But not too brothy.
And it doesn't have too many chunks in it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So far we're right on the same page here. Yeah, everybody thinks this is a great idea.
If we were all doing a soup luge, it seems like we have the same outlook on it. Yeah.
Any other? Maybe I missed a golden opportunity with a different soup, but I think the right texture, the right viscosity,
sure,
and also goes well with bread.
That's true. Yeah, you want to make. I mean, can't forget taste in all of this.
Of course.
Once it gets to your mouth, then what?
The soup luge is not purely for efficiency; it's also for culinary enjoyment. So yeah, we toasted up the baguette. I think we got a couple baguettes just to burn.
Okay,
just potentially. Yeah. So we thought, a baguette. Untoasted, it might be a little, especially a grocery store baguette. We're not talking authentic French bakery here.
Sure, yeah.
It's a Safeway baguette.
So one near your Airbnb, wherever you were.
You could bend it over your knee. You want a baguette that could snap. That's what we're looking for.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
That's a learning experience. So we carved out the channel in it, and then didn't have a ladle. So I think Travis just sort of tried to dump the pot into the top of the baguette. And we did determine it didn't run. The soup did not run down like I had hoped it would cascade.
Just kind of stayed at the top.
Yeah, it just kind of started filling up all the crevices on the way down.
Okay.
So I think we probably would have needed 4 to 6 times as much soup to get it
Got
down
it,
to the
just
mouth.
to even get some down.
Yeah. The standard, even a quart is not enough.
I
So
will say when you originally said it, soup luge, I was imagining more of a mess. I mean, it would,
Yeah.
luge to me sounds fast.
Yeah.
So it was, coming at you. But, adding the the bread in there to kind of, and you toasted it. You said.
and we thought that would help with the integrity of the sort of the load bearing properties
sure,
of the baguette. And it was bad. It was very bad.
Did not go
The first one we like try. I think I just cut out like a slit. So it
like
didn't
a V shape kind of situation.
like a V shape,
Okay.
and I thought it'd come down and then it would like cascade over the top right into my.
Oh, I
mouth.
see. So there was still the lip on the end.
There was a
there.
lip at the end.
Okay.
Now that was a mistake. And for some reason I opted to replace that with a hole at the end, like it was a long weed pipe.
I see.
Yeah. So I
Instead
thought
of
I
maybe
could
cutting out the whole bottom of it, there was a an actual hole.
Like I think that probably just a nice continuous V, so like it would just dump in. I'm not sure if there's a comparable food shape, like sort of like a milk carton. Like if you poured a milk carton straight in your mouth, that shape at the end might have been the ideal.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I did try to guide it into a hole at the end
Okay.
because I thought it would spray too much.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining when with the speed that I was thinking.
You're thinking
it was
fast soup.
Yeah, I was thinking a real fast soup.
I thought so too.
Coming at you hot, and it just wasn't gonna be. It was gonna,
Dribble into your mouth.
Yeah. That's not
Yeah. So what I learned is that soup by nature is too powerful. So, and that's a philosophy I've long held, but I wasn't able to put
This
words
was your
to
first
it.
real experience.
Yeah.
Seeing the power.
Yeah, because
think,
I mean I respect soup, and that's why I thought that like maybe I could, as a friend and a fan of soup, that I could maybe
you could work together. It seems like more.
Put a new give soup a new opportunity.
Got it. And
And-
the soup was like, nope.
It's like
staying
I'm
up
a
here.
bowl. I'm made for bowls. And yeah, so I did. I tried to poke a hole at the end in order to like just really get it right into my mouth, rather than like if you're drinking a shot, it's like kind of probably cute if you like dribble a little bit of vodka
Yeah.
down your chin. But my hot bisque was, it was just dripping down and onto my shirt, and it was an unglamorous attempt. But I still think that I could make it work. Like
I feel like there's some things you could probably change to make it. I'm not sure if the soup luge is ready, but I do think Ingle's hot bisque would sell pretty well. The soup itself. I mean, because then do you cut out all of the bread, so it's just more of that harder outside. I
And
don't
with
know.
a bread bowl, I will give a bread bowl this. The stuff that you take out is adorable on the side for dipping. Am I right? Like your little the innards, the guts, and the cap. When they put a cap,
The cap
the
is
cap
nice.
back on it,
Yeah.
that's
Like a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern.
a pumpkin soup might be a good choice for this.
It would maybe be. Anyways, add that. 'Cause let me write that
The
down.
viscosity is right. I'm not sure about its land speed, but we could try. And then with a bread bowl, you also that's of course served on a plate. Most people are not so bold as to
Just be
really-
standing. And were you standing up?
I was in the
Okay,
beginning,
yeah.
but I mean more like if you order the bread bowl, we don't have the audacity to not give you a ceramic bowl underneath
It's true.
it.
It's not just the bread.
As
bowl.
much as we appreciate the bread, we know that we can't trust it.
Yeah.
It's to hold on the bottom. So what
Well,
we determined with the soup luge is that with the one, slow speed of soup travel, and two, the lack of structural integrity of the baguette, that the soup was soaking the baguette and weakening it as it traveled down.
it, okay.
So whereas that's a boon with your bread bowl, not helpful for the luge.
No.
The luge, it's falling apart
gonna
while
fall
you
apart.
while you build it. So we did have to, after we got a few little drippy drops onto my hot chest, we decided, okay, well, what do you do? You eat the bread bowl with your fork and your knife after you're done
Sure,
with the
yeah,
soup.
yeah.
So we cut the baguette into like 4 like hot dog length pieces, and then laid that out on our plate and just kind of like
Just ate
ate
the soaked-
the wet bread with
Okay.
just while we reflected on the experiment.
With the hot bisque.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I have to say, I've been doing this show for 3 years, and this is probably the most visual I've ever had. Like I'm like thinking a lot of things as this is going. And I know before we started, you kind of mentioned that you had a couple of drug-related stories, but I was wondering if the thought of the soup luge, was there any
sort of outside inspiration? Any sort of like plant-based
sure encouragement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm high most of the time, so that was, and certainly with Travis Nelson, we probably made that road trip extremely stoned.
Okay,
got to Safeway and we're like, we're hitting the pavement.
But you said you had thought about that before then, and this was kind of the first time you were like, let's really put let's see what it can do.
Let's put it to the test.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I never dared to. It's chilly. I never dared try, and that was probably because I didn't have a tall enough friend.
Okay. So there's a lot of variables I think that needed to be
part of it. You need a yes man.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
A lot of people are going to shoot down your ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you need a yes person who's tall and probably also high.
Yes.
And they're like, that sounds like a great idea.
It's worth a try. Yeah.
See, when you originally said it, I don't know why I didn't associate the bread bowl part with the luge itself. Because I've done, audience, maybe you've done some of these, like a shot luge or like an ice luge.
Like ice is all I think of.
Ice luge. So I was assuming something like that. Maybe not ice, but just maybe a plastic. But that's not a good taste.
There's probably a party somewhere that's dropping gazpacho down an ice luge.
Sure. You could do a cold soup. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, cold soup down an ice luge. What would you make a hot luge out of? Maybe you could see if you could rent out 7-Eleven's rolling bars.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Where they keep their hot dogs, and then you could run a soup down that bad boy.
What if you did like a crisped tortilla shell? Like the little taquitos, like that. Maybe cut in half and do a chicken tortilla soup down that.
I love that plan.
Might be.
It's sort of a crunchy taco shell.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in.
I mean, I'm sure it would soak up a little bit. I just feel like there's more of a chance of it. The bread being not, smooth.
Yeah. We might have to engineer whatever the carb luge component is, might need to be specially engineered for the job.
Yeah. Okay.
I think was what you're getting at.
Ooh, I mean, what are you going to invent a new carb? We're all about that.
In my post-fruit diet days, I deserve a new carb.
I think the connection of these two things is so perfect.
I think about food all the time.
Fruit diet followed by the
comedian soup luge.
Stoned comedian soup luge.
The crash dieting, fruit eating theater kid to soup eating stand-up comic.
I mean, they're pretty.
It's a classic. It's a hero's journey.
Yeah,
like that.
If you could go back in time and tell your theater kid stuff like, "Don't worry about the fruit; it gets better."
It gets better.
There's a soup luge in your future.
Like what?
And a live podcast,
And that's what this the stranger at the other campsite came out and said. They just appeared from a foggy bank of trees, and we're like, it's gonna be okay.
There's gonna be a soup in the future. You have some hot bisque.
You'll eat bread, baby, and you'll love it.
Oh my God. Well, I really loved both. Did we enjoy Erin's bad ideas? Those are great.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thanks for having me, Monica.
Yeah, of course. Would you tell, you guys probably know, but tell everyone at home, that camera maybe, where they can follow you and listen to your podcast and all that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you can, I'm mostly on Instagram despite having a TikTok. I'm a lurker. So I'm usually on Instagram at Erin Ingle time. And my podcast is This Normal? With Erin and Alyssa, and that's available wherever podcasts are sold for free.
Same as this one. Perfect. Thank you so much. If you're watching it at home, you can like and subscribe to YouTube here, or if you're listening anywhere that you get podcasts, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. But right now, you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.